Liverpool are 15 points clear. They were 16 points clear after beating Southampton on Saturday. And there's a few things we need to touch on. So they had a terrible performance at PSG, but they managed to nick a goal, but the performance was horrific. Arne Slot actually mentioned it in his post-match interview, and he didn't seem impressed. It seems like he swung a few punches at half-time. It seemed like he gripped Van Dijk at half-time. What on earth was Van Dijk doing for that goal? Don't get me wrong. Defenders make mistakes all the time. The attacker is going to get the better of the defender. You've seen it with Lisandro Martinez at Man United. Getting skinned every week. And the centre-back don't get any praise. He's not the worst centre-back in the world. He's won a World Cup. The butcher, they call him, is getting butchered. But Van Dijk, what are you doing, bro? That's decision-making. I feel like every time it comes to the crunch of a Premier League season, Liverpool give you heart attacks. Proper heart attacks. That is a situation where you don't even need to do anything special. Just boot it out. Forget the aura. Forget the shielding the ball. Just boot it out, man. He's trying to leave it for Alisson. He's trying to protect the ball. And like that brother, that bald brother, took the ball off him, scooped it under Alisson, and scored just before half-time. It was panic stations. Absolute panic stations, my bro. How is that actually occurring? Liverpool, top of the league versus Southampton, 20th in the league. The performance in the first half was also shambolic. Southampton probably had the better chances. Liverpool weren't doing much. They look sluggish. They look drained. That team needed reinforcements. I know Arsenal fans say it, but Liverpool fans aren't allowed to say it. That we needed reinforcements. Firstly in the summer, and secondly in January. We needed maybe a couple of attackers, a midfielder, a defender, just freshen things up, even if it's a loan. Because now we're going to struggle in the Champions League because of it. We may win the league. I don't know about the Carabao, because Newcastle won yesterday. But that's all we want, man. We needed the reinforcements. It would have confirmed the league. It would have gotten us further in the Champions League. And we won't be doing garbage like that. Because Van Dijk shouldn't. It's just poor. I know we come out in the second half and absolutely blitzed them. But that's what you expect when you're playing first against 20th in the league. Nunez. I apologise, my brother. If you start putting in performances like that every week, they might put you in the Hall of Fame. They already love you, and you don't really do much. I know he put us in the hard yards, he put in proper hard yards, but I'm talking about numbers. Proper numbers. Luis Suarez, Fernando Torres, Kenny Dalglish. These are the sorts of numbers you need. But for you, you won't even need them numbers for you to become a legend. Because you're in such a good team. All you need to do is carry on doing what you're doing. Make yourself a nuisance. Don't get sent off. Don't headbutt no one. Use your physicality to your advantage for headers. And score goals. Even if you have to be a Drogba, you don't have to score every game. Just score when it matters. Pass and assist when it matters, like you did against PSG. Score like you did on Saturday when the ball comes in from Luis Diaz. You put that ball away like you did. That was beautiful, bro. That finish is harder than some of the other finishes you've had. How do you score that and miss the stuff you do? That finish was beautiful, man. Got us back in the game. He got the ball, ran to the halfway line. Few seconds later, I think it was within a minute, he jumps before that bald brother who scored for Southampton. Got in front of the ball, got fouled, penalty. That is how you change a game. That is where we need you. Not the best of oppositions, but we needed something, and you bought that something. Mane used to do that. Salah smashes it in. We get another penalty later in the game, and he smashes it in again, and we win 3-1. That Wasn't the best performance, but we got over the line. All we needed was the win, and we got the win, thankfully, due to Nunez, who was my man of the match. He changed the whole game. And Van Dijk needs to look in the mirror. Trent is not the best. He can't really defend, but when Van Dijk's doing things like that, it gets me worried because he's supposed to be our general, our top centre-back. And I know he's allowed to make mistakes, but you know, if he kicked at it and the ball went behind him, or it's an own goal and he's tried his best to clear the ball out, I'll give him, yeah, I'll say every defender makes mistakes, but that mistake was preventable. He could have prevented himself from doing that. He could have just booted it out. You don't need to do extra stuff some of the time. Just make it simple. Do the easy stuff and you'll be all right. Now we've got PSG in the Champions League at home. I think Liverpool should get the job done. I think both teams will score. This might be a fiery encounter. It might be a fiery encounter because PSG have rested all 11 of their players at the weekend because the league is wrapped up and done. So it's going to be an interesting encounter. Liverpool, they don't have the best of teams, although they're one of the favourites in the Champions League. I don't think they have the best of teams. It's very mediocre. They get over the line with things. It's the mentality. It's Arne Slot's pragmatic style which comes into play and they manage to get results. It doesn't mean it's the best team in the world. But you don't need to be the best team in the world to win, as they're proving this season. They're making things happen. Apart from Nunez against Aston Villa, every other time this season he's made it an impression. And he's actually done the correct thing. He's made the right decisions. So maybe he is growing under Arne Slot rather than under Klopp. And maybe Arne Slot is a better manager than we think, rather than coaching good players. Because you still need to impose your style of play. They still need to believe in you. And he's doing something, especially with the interview at the end of the game. He seemed very angry. Very angry. So the players must have got a shouting at half-time. He must have put his point across. And he got the players to perform in the second half, which is exactly what we needed to get the job done. Now it's Champions League time. These players, they've got a lot of games coming thick and fast, especially at this stage of the season. They just need to carry on performing. And if they don't perform, just try and ensure they get the results. Because that is all that matters. Whew! Let's go.